think it's gonna be a long, long time. And I think it's gonna be a long, long time. And I think it's gonna be a long, long time. And I think it's gonna be a long, long time. And I think it's gonna be a long, long time. And I think it's gonna be a long, long time. And I think it's gonna be a long, long time. And I think it's gonna be a long, long time.
Was an early morning yesterday. I was up before the dawn, and I really have enjoyed my stay, but I must be moving on. Like a king without a castle, like a queen without a throne, I'm an early morning lover, and I must be moving on. Now I believe in what you say is the undisputed truth, but I have to have things my own way to keep me in my youth. Like a ship without an anchor, like a slave without a chain, just the thought of those sweet ladies as they shiver through my veins. And I will go on shining like brand new. I'll never look behind me, my troubles will be few.
Happy Monday, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. Let's get it started. Okay, webcam. Do, 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 do. An app is using. What's using my camera? Aww. The heck? Do, 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 do. What the heck could be using my camera right now? Do, 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 do. Here we go. People. Hello, everyone. Yeah, I was like, do I want to do Trump indictment stuff? I did everything right and they indicted me. Honestly, I don't know. Nah. my apartment right now. Like every day I'm just making a new to-do list because that gives me a little bit of relief, even if I don't do anything on those lists. I guess I don't have 7 TV. I don't even know what that means. I thought months ago I did the 7 TV thing, but I can't see the emotes. Yeah, so like when you type Quan Chef or Quan Chef, I can't see it. Do you do? Don't kill my vibe. Yeah, mail pals are anxiety inducing. Yeah. And I haven't even gotten my mail in like a week. I'm like, oh my God. It's just piling up. And I also, I used to live at my grandma's old house, and I guess I have like DMV shit that gets sent there. So when I went there today, because my dad and his siblings have been clearing out the house, because my grandma died a couple years ago, and they've been just like going through decades worth of stuff. And she's Asian. This is my Chinese grandmother. So there's like receipts that are 50 years old. Why did she have them? Oh, I don't know. I don't know. So my dad has been asking me all weekend. She might need them. She might need a 50-year-old seat from CVS. But so my dad was asking me all weekend to come over and go through first the things that I have at my papa's. Lord Tabazel, thank you for the 3 months. And then, oh, I was like, why did my subs go way down? Because it's been a month since I did Sub Billionaire. It's like, whoa, what happened? Yeah, my Sub Billionaire subs are done. So I finally went over today to sort through the items that I had from when I used to live there, and then ask Point Grove for an extended trial, for real. And then my dad was like, do you want any of this stuff? I was like, I don't know. I have no space for it. But then also I'm like, yeah. So I took a Chinese scroll. Dad's like, do you want any of these old receipts? I did take a giant scroll. I don't know where I'm gonna put it. It's a scroll with Chinese calligraphy on it. And I'm like, okay, it does not fit the vibe of my apartment. Like just the art that I have. But I'm like, I gotta take this. It's huge. It's probably 6 feet tall, 6 feet long, 2 feet wide. It's a big scroll. It's a big scroll. And then my dad was like, do you want these old cards that you sent to Papa? Look at this. This is, oh God, I hope I was a child. This drawing looks evil. You know what it's giving? The teacher from the Black Lagoon. Yeah. Why do children make the most cursed looking things? Like, what is this igloo house? Why did I draw my grandma on an igloo? And what is this arrow? Isn't that the like what are the male and female signs? And I'm sure my papa got this and was like, she will never be professional artist. Not like Auntie blah blah blah. That's how it always went. Like we'd be at a family get together. My mom would be like, sing a song, sing a song. I'd sing a song and my papa would be like, she has nice voice, but not as nice a voice as cousin Chinny or whatever. There was always somebody who was better. I'm like, I'm 10. Okay, here's another one. I was really Picassoing up in this bitch. This is a dog that I prayed for. Prayed for a dog. And then the last thing is... my dad gave these to me. I was like, I don't know what to do with these. What if I told you guys that I was 12? I was like, oh yeah, I made this when I was 12. Aww. Papa, thank. I know, they're cute. They're cute. I have all this... So I just have random old stuff from the house. And then Will's mom always sends me stuff of his from when he was a kid. Like, she just sends me baby photos. Like, what do I do with these? And then she'll send me things that he wrote when he was a kid. And I can't, you know, I don't want to throw them away. But I'll say to Will, I was like, here, I'll hand him the stuff. And he'll be like, I don't want this. God, I need to get another filing cabinet. Why you and not Will? I think, you know what it is? I think his mom sends me stuff so... to, like, help me understand Will more. I don't know. Not in a, like, she thinks I don't get him. But in a, Will's always been this way. I'm like, no, I know. It's not for preservation. She has copies of everything. She has, like, the originals of everything. She'll send me copies of them. Like, she sent me this essay recently that he had written about wanting to make people laugh. It was really cute. A lot of misspelled words, but very sweet. Oh my God. This is our old Baltimore. I was just looking at the envelope. This is from when I lived in Baltimore. Damn, this is old. Let's see, 1996. So whatever was in this one, I was 4. Whatever was sent in this envelope. Yeah, I bet you guys don't know I grew up in the Dirty B. That's where I was born. Let me look up this address. See what area this was in. Should I Zillow it? Yeah, it's probably been totally gentrified. My dad painted the whole outside of the house. I'm assuming they've updated it since then because it has been almost 2 decades. But yeah, I guess this was the house that I grew up in. Well, when I was really little. It did not look like this. I can tell you that. This has been all updated. We didn't have AC, and I think a lot of times we also didn't have heat. Like, we would have space heaters. This looks like a house that has both of those things. Not gonna lie, I think I made a house like that on The Sims 4. Yeah, look at that shit. My gosh, I wonder if this was my bedroom at one point. Three bed, 2 bath. It's estimated at $392,367. Yeah, that's definitely gone up because my parents could not have afforded something like that. Something like that. Aware. Yeah, so cheap in 1996. I mean, that is still Like, when I think about a house being under $400,000, I'm like, rage. No, that was not my papa's house. That was where I grew up. My first house when I lived in Baltimore. Yeah, so now I just have all this art that baby Caro made. Should have bought a house in middle school. You know, I say that to myself all the time. I'm like, why did I invest in real estate when I was 11? Why didn't I buy Chanel bags in 2005? And now they would be worth so much. Why didn't I do any of those things? We're now obligated to watch Hairspray for movie night. People, I don't know. I think some people would love it, and then some people would hate it. Decided to check out Central Committee stream earlier today for the first time. Permaban. This happened. Permaban? Wait, how do you know that you had a permaban? That's funny. Oh, man. I can't speak to that. I don't know. I don't know anything about that. Like, it told me and I hadn't even been there before. Oh, that doesn't make any sense. If you'd never even been there before you were permaban, I feel like that's... Mike was reacting to my WGA video. Oh no. You guys, I've been having so much anxiety about my YouTube. I can't watch my YouTube videos. I don't know what it is. Like, I've gotten better about being able to watch back some of my streams. But watching my YouTube videos, I made Will watch my YouTube video, and then I ran into the bedroom and flopped on the couch. I was like, oh, I can't. I think I'm just scared now that I'm opening myself up to YouTube, and I know that I have a lot to learn about making YouTube videos. Will was like, you have to do the whole, like, what's up, YouTube? I'm here today with the writers. Like, I don't know any of that stuff. I thought that was a joke. I thought that was a meme. The whole, like, what's up, YouTube? But I guess that's the thing you have to do. Hey, YouTube, how's it going? Hey, everybody. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Yeah, and then also just, like, watching myself. For instance, the WGA March to Rally. It was a great day. It was a great event. I had a great time. Brett did a great job covering it. But watching myself back there, I like, because it was so hot and I didn't have a hair tie in the beginning of the video, I was like, how many fucking times are you going to touch your hair? How many times are you going to touch your sunglasses? It's just me looking at shit like that. I'm like, oh my God. Or just listening to all of the bad habit speech patterns that I have. I'm like, stop doing that. Stop. Don't do that. Yeah, I know no one ever noticed it, and now they will notice it because I pointed it out. And then I think the video was way too clipped. I love my editor, but I think I think it was too, what's the word? Too edited? Like, there was no dead air. Because it felt very, I'm not on TikTok, but when I see a TikTok and it's just like boom, 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 boom. Clip too many jump cuts. I was like, I don't remember having that much dead space. I don't know, but things to learn. Will goes, you've put out 2 videos. You just started. He goes, when I started my YouTube, I quit because I just didn't want to deal with it. And then I finally had to take it seriously again. You don't say quintessentially every... Oh, is that what Will does? That's funny. Yeah, I'm really trying to kick my bad speech habits. We all do it, but when you talk for a living on camera, you notice it more and you go, don't do that. Stop it. Stop. Two fits. I know, I'm already in my flop era. I'm already like, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. I hate this. What are your bad habits? Okay, I feel if I point them out, then everyone's gonna notice it. It's nothing that other people don't do. These are just bad speech habits that a lot of people have. But the thing is, because I'm so I'm so aware of mine, when I listen to other podcasts or when I watch somebody speaking for an extended period of time, I notice their bad speech patterns as well. Gary, thank you for the year. Did I miss anyone else? Until you're like Hassan going, what do I always say? Yeah, he says, what do I always say a lot? He ends his sentences with, okay. NMPs, I'm not gonna lie. There are people who have their thing. My thing, okay, I'm gonna tell you, and then now I'm gonna be even more self-aware. I say right a lot. So I'll say something and be like, right? It's like looking for confirmation without realizing that you're doing that. So I'll say, so anyway, and then it's even worse when you throw in a so you know what I'm saying, right? We don't need all those confirmations in any meaningful capacity. Wait, does Ludwig says boys? Boys! Yeah, you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying. Okay. Listen, it's not the end of the world. It's not the worst thing to have these. We all have them. I can't stand when I hear myself saying them. Right, they're not like Hassan's okay habit. It's not bad. That's also a tendency when you are teaching something. You know? It's hard not to do. It's especially when you stream for hours and hours a day and then you do podcasts and then you do like everything. You don't have time to think about what you're saying, what the point is that you're making, as well as trying to cut back on bad speech habits. Anyway, listen, right? No, I don't have a podcast. I was referring to Hassan and other people who talk for hours a day, have podcasts. We all have our own pre-programmed vocab. Yes, we do. I think you're one of the most well-spoken Twitch streamers. Well, thank you. That's very kind. I think the bar is pretty low, but I will take the compliment. When someone says, my brain automatically says yes. Yeah, sometimes those can be helpful. Okay, so here's the thing with rights, okay, anything like that. They can be effective. It's not as if you should totally eliminate them. Even a well-placed can work. Sometimes in trying to substitute for filler words, it just makes your speech sound unnatural. Will says ultimately. Yeah, having to refine speech is weird. It sounds unnatural. But yeah, when you talk for hours a day, when you're rambling on, when you're figuring out what you want to talk about next, when you are trying to have a point to make, got. When you are trying to do all those things, it is natural that you will slip back into bad speech habits. I think what I need to be better at is being comfortable with pausing. In my life, I am not comfortable with silence. Ever. I said this when my sister was here on first dates. I physically cannot handle silence, so I will fill the silence. While streaming, I do not like if there is, if I pause for longer than 5 seconds. I genuinely, if I take a pause, even if it's just, I'm like, you gotta be talking. You gotta be saying stuff. There's too much dead air. You gotta say something. When actually, and I've studied I've studied what speech experts say, and one of the biggest tips that they offer as far as cutting out filler words, just being more intentional with what you are saying, is to be comfortable with taking pauses. If you listen to Barack Obama, look, I don't like to fluff Obama's ego too much. Barack Obama was a very effective speaker because he was really intentional with his pauses. He was not a guy who would ramble on. He was, and that is why when he burst onto the scene, people were so taken aback by how well spoken he was. Now, granted, also that was them being racist and, oh my God, a black man who can speak so well. But that was something he was always known for. He never spoke too quickly. Yes, he had a verbose vocabulary. He would put these pauses in that made what he was saying more effective. He's very, very good at speaking. Now, he ain't been doing shit since he graduated from the presidency. I actually saw this article that said he's been the worst president post-presidency. Wait, let me see if I can find it. Since his retirement from politics, Barack Obama has displayed an astonishing lack of regard for the public good. Instead of serving his fellow human beings, he's mainly devoted himself to a rigorous program of conspicuous self-celebration. Yeah. So like I said, at this point where we are, I'm not going to sing the praises of Barack Obama, but when it comes to speaking, the man is very good. Yeah, they use the photo like, whatever, man, I don't fucking care. It does look kind of blurry. Yeah, I mean, I would never want to be president in the first place. Upon retiring from presidency, I think that I would just want to retire from life. But I think the frustrating thing with Barack Obama is that post-presidency, he and Michelle have no problem using their power and their status to get these really cushy Netflix deals. And in particular, he's doing a Netflix show that is all about workers in America, laborers in America, and yet Barack Obama was an anti-union president. And there was so much that he did not do for workers in America. So to see him now, no longer in office, but enjoying this 7-figure deal that he has with Netflix, making this show, just feels... It's hard not to feel jaded about politicians when you see stuff like that. Do you know that Obama, with his playlists, wait, didn't we talk about this on stream? He has admitted that he hasn't necessarily read every book that he puts on his book playlists. I think he probably listens to the songs that he puts on his music playlist because that's way easier, but I think he got caught. It was some interview, someone asked him, who was it? Someone asked him about a book that he put out on his summer book list, and oh, Hassan Minaj, yes, Hassan Minaj. And then he had to admit that he hasn't read them all, which honestly is so fair. I relate to that, pretending you've read a book that you haven't read so people will just leave you alone or think that, you know, oh, okay, you can be part of the conversation. It's just hilarious though, because he's Barack Obama and he's been known for these lists. And there are every time he makes one of these lists, the author of, let's say, you know, it's a book that it's just going to be really, really great for their profile and in their book sales. And so they'll make a really big post about how honored they are that Barack Obama chose their book for the list. And it turns out that maybe he hasn't even read it. Does Oprah read hers? If you were to ask me, Oprah probably has a team of people who read the books for her and then just give her the spark notes. Honestly, that's what I would do. Same with Reese. Actually, you know what? I think Reese Witherspoon probably reads the books. I think so. Oprah, no. She's got a team of people who put together a synopsis, quick little summary, because that's what I know this isn't the same thing, but I used to do that when I was at Sony. So one of the jobs that all the assistants, trainees, and interns had was we were in charge of reading the scripts. We would read the scripts and then we would have to fill out these really, really detailed script analyses that were based on criteria that the studio had. So you would have to give it was like doing a paper in college. And I would do, yes, script coverage. I would do it every single day. So I don't know why the fuck I could not think of the term coverage. I would do it every day, sometimes multiple scripts a day. These executives did not read these scripts. So when I started screenwriting, I had that in mind when an executive or a producer would pass on the script, or they would offer up notes, and I thought to myself, I bet you they didn't even fucking read my script. I bet you it was some 20-year-old intern who had a script pile this big and they had to get through it in a day. Because that would be me. And so sometimes I would have 30 minutes start to finish to get through a 100-page script and then type up coverage on it, which again, like a 2-sentence kind of overview, a detailed synopsis, characters, themes, my thoughts on the script, what worked, what didn't work, and then ultimately I would have to determine yes or pass. And if it was yes, then it would go to the executive's desk, but they still didn't necessarily read it. They might then have a higher assistant read it, a junior exec. So all that being said is that sometimes these scripts have to go through multiple people to even get to the person who needs to be reading it. Literally, I ain't reading all that. Yeah. Has any script you said yes to been made into a movie? Yeah. I would say what happened more often though is I would read a script and then they would buy the idea of the script because the script was usually shit. Are you saying interns run our TV shows? Interns, trainees, and assistants are really the ones running Hollywood. They're just getting paid minimum wage. So I would read a script. I would recommend it. Or I would say the script is bad, but the idea, the premise is good. So then my boss or bosses would take a look at it. But even still, sometimes they still would not read the script. I would just have to pitch it to them. And then they would go, okay, I think that's good. And then we'd have to say, because I worked in international film, a lot of it was also looking at, okay, how could this movie be made in Mexico? How could this movie be made in Spain? What would this look like? And then we'd have to get on the horn with writers in those regions and then, you know, come up with they would come up with a pitch. This is actually so accurate.
So here is our chance to kick some ass for Mother Earth.
I'm listening.
Well, I've narrowed your choices down to 5 unthinkable options. Each will cause untold misery.
I picked number 3.
You don't even want to read them first?
I was elected to lead, not to read. Number 3.
I was elected to lead, not to read. Yeah, that's exactly how it goes. All right. Before we get into
Spider Pig does whatever,
does whatever a spider pig does. Spider pig spins a web and does. Blue Cheese, thank you for the 3 months. Atacami, thank you for the 4 months. And yeah, okay. Anything else personal news wise? I don't think so. Oh, I guess my last thought with cleaning my grandma's house out all day today, I just kept thinking one day this is gonna be me. I'll be dead and my family members will be going through my stuff and going, is this worth anything? Or do I want to keep this? And most of it will probably end up in the trash. And there are some items, yeah, it's all meaningless. There are some items that are of value, like are actual nice art pieces. And my dad's siblings are arguing over who gets what, which just goes to show that like the sibling vibe never changes. It's not in a bad way. It's not in a like I'm gonna sue you over that way. But because my papa did not detail who gets what, people are just kind of, oh well, you took this or I want this. And I already know that my middle sister Jen has laid claim to everything in my parents' house. She is probably already trying to write up a contract right now and have my parents sign it that says I get all these things. Oh shit, you inherited your grandma's Beanie Baby collection? That is the jackpot. Yeah, my sister's already like, I want to move into this house. I go, okay, well, mom and dad aren't dead yet. And knock on wood, they'll have 30 plus more years. She's like, yeah, but whenever. Yeah, so it can get very messy. Paul Rudd, is that you? Loved you in Ant-Man. It can get really messy in families that are already have contentious relationships. A lot of contentiousness. It can get pretty nasty, but so far it's been fine. It's just kind of like today when I was taking this scroll and a couple other art pieces, I double checked with my dad and his siblings. I said, "Are you sure you guys don't want it? You don't want any of this?" They were like, "No, that stuff's not really worth anything anyway." My dad was like, "Oh, here's some glasses. Do you want these crystal glasses?" And I was like, "Yeah, isn't crystal really expensive?" And he goes, "It can be." I go, "Okay, well, are these really expensive?" And he's like, oh, I don't know, but I don't think anybody wants them. So I was really excited. And I texted Will, I was like, I got a scroll and I got some crystal. Some crystal. And I come home and Will does this rich white person thing where he apparently, like, there's a way you know how to check if it's nice crystal. Like, he was running his finger around the rim of the glass and then doing some other things. And I was like, what are you doing? And he goes, I hate to break it to you. This is not, this probably isn't real crystal. Yeah, it breaks out the monocle and the white gloves. Sometimes Will does things and it reminds me, oh yes, that's how he grew up. And I was sad. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I thought I was bringing us home some nice. He goes, they're still really pretty. And we will put them here and we will pretend that they are expensive crystal glasses. Yeah, like he said that when he was a kid, his aunt taught him how to properly wash her Swarovski crystal glasses. So Will was like 4 years old studying these crystal glasses and learning how to properly care for them. Will talks about how he grew up on a farm. Kind of. I mean, his mom grew up on a farm. And so did his aunt. But then his aunt went on to work on Wall Street. She was one of the first women to work at, I think she worked for JP Morgan. And she was very, very successful. Had a gorgeous apartment in Manhattan. Made a lot of money. So that's why, like, 4 or 5-year-old Will was studying the art of properly cleaning crystal as a child. It's very waspy, yes. So when I brought these home and he just like, they're not real. He also Googled them and he's like, you can get these on Amazon. He goes, maybe this company has an Amazon line. I'll show you one. See, they look nice. They look fancy. Aren't they pretty? Yeah. You know what? It's pretty. That's all I care about. Forget how well off Will's family was till he brings up boarding school. Yeah. Like, I remember Will telling me a long time ago about how he was afraid of airplanes and when he would have to fly, when he'd have to get on an airplane, how terrible it was. And I was like, you flew on airplanes? I didn't grow up poor, I want to be clear, but my family was, we were middle class, but we had 5 kids. So we weren't flying on airplanes, but that was my response to him when he was telling me about his fear of flying. I was like, you flew on airplanes all the time? You went to Paris? Yeah, we would pile into our gold minivan, all 7 of us and our dog, and we would have to put one of those carriers on top to put all our luggage in it because there was literally no room in the car. And then we would just be, so dangerous, just sleeping in